Hi team, good afternoon, good morning. Welcome to the Test Data Hub demo to Mercury Healthcare. The key objective of the Test Data Hub is to automate the test data creation and management process, thereby enabling testers to have a readily available production-like test data in a desired frequency and volume. Moving on to the working points from last meeting. From the last meeting, we have discussed on two use cases. One is related to generate a synthetic data based on a data profiling report. The data profiling report is nothing but it discovers on the data and have rules and schemas and different ratios about the data. Example, I want to generate a 35% of medical providers from New York, 20% of medical providers from Alabama, the same way 45% from Alaska, by simulating the production data schema, rules and weightages. Our data profiling tool have weightages and ratios are automatically captured by TDH, and the data profiling engine will generate the test data in bulk with a single click of button by using the synthetic data generator. Next, we are going to discuss on how we could slice and dice any data and filter the data so that necessary fields can be sliced, updated or filtered, and the test data can be used for testing needs. The second use case we're going to discuss is restoring the test environments to their original state once the testing is completed. Example, we can reset the test QA environments very easily from TDH once the testing is completed. On the testing team activity in the QA environments, completed. TDH has ability to connect to any cloud services, databases and APIs and maintain the test data activity versions along with the timestamp, so that we can easily enable reset activity of that particular version of the test data. We have taken the example of S3 and Snowflake to have demo on restoring QA environments to their original state once the testing is completed. And we are going to touch upon Salesforce data insert and reset activities for relational objects which have parent-child relations. And further to that, Salesforce users could able to reset the records which are created by them, not by others. Moving on to next. So this is a kind of a small flow to understand about the business, or how the test data would be generated and used in the testing phase and reset activity. The right side thing would help us. The right side section is getting the, if you could see here, cloud service, reading the schema rules and passing that to TDH. TDH pass on to a synthetic data generator, which is a mark data generator. Based on the rules, a synthetic data generator will generate data against the rules and the weightages. Then the generated data would push back to the cloud service. If we could see here, cloud service to Snowflake, the TDH team has discovered a way and implemented a change event mechanism. Whenever a new data record available in AWS S3, automatically the event would be triggered, and the change event would be triggered, and the Snowflake database would get updated with the new set of records which are available in S3. So let's say this is like if we look at the right side, get the schema, generate the data, write back to S3 and Snowflake. So in this portion, the test data testing team can perform their testing in their QA environments. Once the testing is completed and everything seems to be fine, Now we would move on to the left side section, which is reset activity. The reset activity can be taken place by selecting the S3 data versions. Based on the version, the data would get deleted from the S3, so that automatically it would get deleted from the Snowflake table as well. We are going to see this in demo now. So yes, this is a typically a TDH web portal, TDH application portal. So it has n number of options. If we could see here, we have connected to the S3 bucket by giving the access key and other parameters. As soon as I click on submit, we could see it has been read the data and schema. Once I click on fetch data, this is the important factor. We could see the view data profile. So what it would do, based on this data, it would discover the profile report and it would summarize the data points. Let's look at the data profiling. Once we click on it, it would open a detailed report to understand each and every column of the data. So now we will target on the zip codes, and we would see what is it and how the data profiling can helpful to generate relevant as data. So let me go into a bit and if we could go to the categories. The same example what we have discussed, like kind of 35 percentage of medical providers from this location and 26 percentage from this location and all. We could see in a pie chart or a histogram, and a histogram is available here to detail out and have the percentages in place. So to understand this from this location, more providers are available, medical providers are available in this location. So from this data we could understand, from this data profiling report, we could understand more medical providers are available in 99508 location. So the same way next 99549, which is a New York location. So the same way for other states as well. So now we are going to generate a realistic dummy test data based on these characteristics or based on this kind of proportions automatically. We would see that now we would directly go on to our task section and a synthetic data generator, which is a mark data generator. And if we could observe here, I have selected I'm trying to generate a few records, and I have selected the weightage column, which is the kind of the ratio column as zip code, and I'm trying to generate the data. If we could see here, the zip codes and the weightages automatically fetched from there. 99508 have 33 percentage of weightage. Here also the same. So like this, we could have, if we want to get adjusted this, I could increase this so that automatically the next element or the next zip code percentage could get updated. So this is how we could automatically capture the weightages and generate the realistic test data. If needed, the user have a full control over to edit as needed. As soon as I click on execute button, we could see the relevant test data would be generated. Let's say out of 35 records, it is the 33 percentage, means around 12 records. If we could check 99508, Alaska records are around 12 records. So 10 plus 2, 12 records. So this is how very easily we could get generated the relevant test data by as per the weightages or ratios needed. Next we have this slicing and dicing option on the columns or data, and we have the filter option as well. Let's say if tester want to filter only 54559 records, it would be easily would be done. So this is how how we could generate the test data, and kind of we could do some slicing and dicing. Next thing is we need to kind of send this data to we need to kind of send this data to data services so that the testing teams can be using the data. So now moving on to S3 bucket and Snowflake data services. If we could see here, apart from this, there is no other flat files of CSV type are not available. At the same time, to make sure the data is getting updated, we could see at the moment we have only 6 records in our Snowflake database. Now we could see with a click of this update button from this data generator, the newly generated test data would be available in the S3 bucket, and automatically an event, a change event would be fired from S3 to Snowflake, so that the data would get auto updated in the respective table. So let's see that. Okay. So let me go over here, and we could see a new file has been available here, and let's see another 35 records should come to a Snowflake automatically. So we have implemented a kind of automatic data change detection capabilities and mechanism communication channel between S3 and Snowflake. So we could see if the records are getting reflected. Okay. Okay, I have just selected. We could see another 35 records has been added. 35 plus 6, 48. But we could see here as well with today's date, around 35 records has been added to the Snowflake database automatically. So this is how we could generate and push the data to QA environments from test data hub. Once the testing is done, now it is time to reset our data, correct? So now we would go to a centralized location in test data hub, and we could perform the reset activities. So let me go to backup and restore activities. As much as simple, I just need to select the which is S3 and the versions, if any versions are available. So 2 versions are available. If I try to update this, you could just check here, show versions. So the providers has 2 versions here. If I try to delete it from here, it would get auto deleted from the here as well. If I let me refresh, we could see there is one version of the providers has been deleted. The same way we have for other data services as well, like Snowflake and all. So we could do the same thing with the Snowflake as well. So if I just connect to Snowflake Cloud Database and get the tables in it and refresh it. So let me select the medical providers, and I could just select the reset activity so that the data would get resetted automatically. So this is how we could reset the data once the testing is done. So we are using the timestamps and dates to do this versioning activity of the reset for the data. Further to that, we have implemented Salesforce data insert and reset activity for relational objects which have parent and child relation. The user should able to reset the records which are created by his phone. If some records has been created by some other user, he cannot delete it, or he cannot perform any action on it. So we could see this is a workflow. Workflow is nothing but mimicking the business logic, or combining the sequence of steps to produce a relevant output. If you could see here, dependent creation of account and case records. So if we could look at our algorithm, or if we look at our workflow, this is how it is. As soon as I click on this button, automatically with the relevant relations, data records would be inserted in accounts object and case object. The same way we could perform the reset activity as well. So this is how we have implemented the reset, resetting the QA environments to their original state once the testing is completed by the testing team. Okay. With that note, we want to conclude this demo session. Thank you for your time.